Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast, episode 556. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
Okay, I'm a little bit pissed, Connor,
Yep.
because
Am
tell
I?
me what the F Moffat is talking about. Okay, so could you repeat?
Yeah. So in pretty much the same interview where Moffat had a wank of Smith, he said he told Capaldi. I think this was before Series 8. I'm not sure, before it started filming. You're not the stern doctor. You're not the rude doctor. You're not the. He said something like, you're just the doctor that doesn't give a damn. And it's like, right, okay. So then, if you told Peter that, why did you come out and say to us that Peter Capaldi is going to be the rude doctor? It's just like he's telling Peter one thing and then telling us another, and then it's false expectations. And then when the series comes around, it's suddenly just a massive facepalm because nothing resembles what Moffat said to us, because he's telling Peter to not play it rude, just play it like you don't give a damn. And then he's saying to us, but you're going to get a rude doctor, so look out for a rude doctor, someone who's going to be dark. And he's like, and then he said, and reference to Matt Smith and David Tennant as well, for fuck's sake. He can't keep them out of a fucking sentence about Peter, can he? Total disrespect. To be honest, in terms of the journey that we're all learning about at the moment, from script to mouth, as it were, if you give a very, very mildly acerbic line to Peter, it comes out like a gale force. There are many lines that I've happily given to Matt or David, and I would have been done with a smile and a laugh. But out of Peter's, it's like a javelin, which is fine. It's good luck. It's good fun, sorry. Which sounds to me like he's saying, well, Peter delivers it like that. He delivers every line like that. But I much prefer the way Matt Smith and David do it, because he's not the rude they're not the rude doctors. They're not they have to give a damn. We have to make Peter not give a damn because he's older. Because he delivers lines like this. And it's like, Moffat, just please shut the fuck up and just get on with writing something that is half decent, and maybe we won't have a fucking problem with what you say. And then, apparently in the same interview, I haven't read the same interview, he said, well, I wish fans would stop having a go at me because it hurts my feelings, and I don't deserve it because I give them this show. And it's like, how the fuck can you be so arrogant? It's like, yeah, okay.
He's a nut job, Connor.
You
Because
give us the fucking show,
let
but
me
you
tell
don't
you
give us
something. Let
it
me tell you
well, do you?
something.
You don't respect fucking Whovians. You're just there to shit all over it. So
He
why don't you fuck off back to Scotland and just fuck off, Moffat, because you're pissing me off. Ugh. He's just, some of the stuff he said in that interview alone is just absolutely weird. It's not even funny because he's probably trying to, say, oh well, I'm just Stephen Moffat. I write this show. Peter doesn't mind what I say. Matt Gatiss sucks my dick. He agrees with me all the fucking time. No one gives two hoots about how things are written. Like, I'm Stephen Moffat. And it's like, and then he comes out and said like he said something about two-parters, like, you won't know when when there's going to be a two-parter and when there's going to be a standalone episode. I'm sorry, has he fucking forgotten about the internet? I mean, has he completely forgotten about the internet? Has he gone back to fucking prehistoric times? Of course we'll know when it's a two-parter. All we have to do is look on the fucking website and we'll see that it says it's two parts. Because He's like trying to surprise us in the queerest ways possible. How the fuck are you supposed to surprise us with that when we can just find the information out like that? And it's just like it's Moffat being Moffat being Moffat being Moffat. It's like Moffat times 1,000 and plus a bit of ego, talking about how he fucking writes the show all the time. And then he's the one there that's messing around with people's scripts because he doesn't like a particular bit, or because he thinks that something that might actually be funny is not funny, and then he writes in his shitty humour. He's got about as much humour as a fucking rock. It's disgusting, and I want him fucking gone. That's it. That's rant over for me. You know, it's just, oh. Like you said, Joe, he's a fucking nut job. This guy can't control himself because I'll read out some other quotes because I'm sure there's some other quotes here. Luckily, he actually spoke quite highly of Jenna because she said she was originally wanting to leave, and he originally wrote her out of Death in Heaven. She would leave in Death in Heaven, but she said, "Oh well, I want to be in Christmas." So he said, "Yeah, that's fine. You can be Christmas. I can easily write you in." And then she said at the read-through, where they were literally going through the script of where she actually left, that I don't want to leave. And you know, he was like, "Oh well, that's brilliant. I mean, I want to write you in Series 9 because I think that you're a great actress." You know, he was talking so highly of Jenna, but he was taking shots at Peter for no reason.
Connor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Let me just add something into that, okay? Here's a situation that nobody's aware of, okay? When Matt Smith contract was up, okay, the first thing he cared about was signing Jenna Louise Coleman, okay? They signed Jenna Louise Coleman. They bagged her. They locked her for up to Series 8, okay? That was her contract up into Series 8, okay?
Yeah.
They didn't give a shit about giving him any money, anything. Moffat just assumed that Matt Smith would just play along, okay? Now, he was getting paid like $350,000 a year, which is crap, okay? What happened was, you know, he made more money from that movie Clone or whatever Womb or whatever that thing was in like 6 weeks than he did in like 2 years of Doctor Who or 3 years in Doctor Who, right? One movie that 6 weeks after filming, he made a crappy, I don't even know if it was a crappy movie, I didn't get to see it, but didn't make that much money. But just a movie like that, he made more money than 3 years worth of Doctor Who. So he's like, hey, I could do this. I can make money, even if it's like, you know, I can make money like this and be okay. So when the time came, Connor, we did casts on this. When the time came, he was offered a raise, right?
Yeah.
The raise was like 100,000 more. It wasn't even like it was like 400. The total I think was like it wasn't even 100,000. It was like 410,000 or something, which is absurd. Okay, so of course he's going to say no, and it is nothing personal. But honestly, they should have gave the guy the money. They should have gave the guy the money. I don't understand what the problem was. Their head was up their ass. And yes, I like Jenna Louise Coleman, okay? But that was the main purpose of signing Jenna Louise Coleman. They didn't give a shit about Matt Smith. Now, here's the thing. Peter Capaldi's on, whatever, and he starts knocking Matt Smith, right? Oh, Peter Capaldi needed to do this. Now he's having a problem maybe with Peter Capaldi, right? Where Peter Capaldi's not giving in to his stuff. Like, the scripts are not that good. He's giving him heat about it. So now he's becoming a direct dick and telling him how he wants his doctor to be. And everything that he said is contradictory now. Like, he wanted the doctor to be this way. Now he's coming around and saying he wants the doctor to be this way. And that never happened, and he never said that. There's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, and I'm having a fucking, and I'm sorry for cursing on this cast. For me personally, I don't know if you were cursing because I had to step out, but I'm fucking tired of the bullshit going on with these fucking articles, spinning it like all this bullshit the way it's supposed to be. You don't know the fucking true story behind the scenes of Doctor Who, okay? This is the fucking guy that we had fucking 2 episodes of Doctor Who that fucking special effects factories got fucking closed down. People were out of work. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in that year that he just did the 50th anniversary special and the Christmas special or whatever. Like, what the fuck? And then you do Series 8, okay, but we lose an episode, okay? And I have a fucking problem with that. I have a problem with losing episodes, losing seasons, okay? And the bullshit with the split seasons and then carrying over one season into 2 years. This is all him. I'm having a fucking problem under his leadership, okay? Now, this bullshit with, oh, you know, 2-parters are better, man, because then, you know, wouldn't you not want to be surprised? Wouldn't you want to be surprised where in the last 5 minutes you know he's going to run here, he's going to do this? Well, no shit. No fucking shit, Sherlock. No shit that we've been fucking saying that for like fucking 5 years. No shit. We've been saying that over and over. The episodes are too fucking short. Okay? It's not like classic Doctor Who where they had 4-parters, 7-parters, and even then, each part was 25 minutes. Okay? So they were all movie theater length. Okay? Even the small ones. Okay? So give me a fucking break. You're full of shit. And what he does is he goes and he listens to people. He listens to things. He listens to all of us. But then he goes in the wrong direction. He goes in the fucked up direction. Okay? Okay, yes, we like 2-parters. Did we say 2-parters every fucking other episode? No, we didn't. We didn't say we want 1,000,000 2-parters in the fucking season. Did we say that you need to go in this direction? No, you don't. Like, what are you doing? Okay, we complained, all right, he kills people, he brings them back, right? Okay?
Yeah.
How about not kill people? How about that? All right? But no, he goes and he kills Osgood and Danny Pink, and then he becomes fucking morbid and dark. Like we're saying, it should go a little dark, but he goes beyond dark. I mean, he's so dark that Dark's like, hey, man, I can't even see. That's even darker than me. That's how fucking dark he goes. Okay? That's how fucking dark he goes. Where he goes so dark that even the devil himself is like, wow, he's got one up on me, man. He should become the king of the underworld. Shit. I mean, that's how fucking dark he goes.
Well,
okay? You know what the most depressing fucking thing is? Is that you open up an episode of Doctor Who, right? And she calls him on the phone to tell him how much she loves him, she wants to marry him, whatever bullshit it is, and it's because of her fucking phone call that he fucking croaks. That just fucking destroys the fucking companion forever. Bitch, you fucked up. Like, really. I mean, you called him up, you killed Danny Pink, right? Whoa. Holy crap. And then this whole shit about this is a children's program. It's like Sarah Jane Smith Adventures with the Caretaker and the friggin' in the forest at night, and we're like la 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 la, all happy and shit, and like fucking bunnies coming out, and fucking squirrels are hugging each other, and the alligators are petting kittens and shit, and then the next thing you know, you got like fucking Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead, where fucking Cybermen are ripping out fucking dirt of fucking cemeteries. People are shitting in their fucking pants. You got like something from a horror movie where the fucking dead's coming out of like the mortuary. What the fuck is that? What the fuck? How do you go from like Sesame Street, you turn around the corner and fucking Elmo gets bit by a fucking walker? What the fuck is that? How the fuck do you do that? And then the best is, the fucking cream of the crop is at the end of this fucking death and people doing the Macarena, the fucking Cybermen and going like this. Like, what? What the fuck? The dead are dancing in the cemetery and it's like, hey, it's your birthday. Hey, like, what the fuck? And that, besides that is the bullshit dialogue between the two of them, how fucked up they are to Dr. Clara. Because he portrayed the doctor to be fucked up, and so Clara, where they're lying to each other, bullshitting each other to death. So now he's not the doctor, he's Dr. Bullshit. And she's like companion bullshit. And then like, all right, see you later. And they have the fucking stupid, they go to the fucking sideways glance where the TARDIS takes off and she's just walking. And you're like, what the fuck? And if that wasn't enough, that was like the most shittiest fucking ending I've ever seen, and the most fucking morbid, sad, I want to jump off the bridge fucking ending where I won't come back with Moffat. Okay? If that's not enough, the fucking guy is leaning on the TARDIS and fucking Santa Claus comes in there. What the fuck? And then it's like he smoked crack Okay, he smoked crack, and on one TV he's watching Miracle on 34th Street. Then he's watching the fucking thing. Then he's watching Aliens, and guess what? That's an X-Files episode. In case you don't want to, if you don't know about it, because Mulder and Scully were constantly in the dream world doing that shit. So I'll hold it off to you, Connor.
Yeah, so it's not so much I don't so much have a problem with the fact that he's now saying that two parts are going to be, an integral part of Series 9 and that they're going to be there. It's more of the fact that he's trying to gun down Peter and inflate his own ego by saying, like, I told Peter this and I told Peter that. And, I think this is right. And, don't have a go at me because I'm the person that gives you this fucking show. So you will lick my shoes for as long as I'm fucking here. I mean, Moffat, please get this thing out of your fucking head where you think that you're the fucking king of the world. I remember, about 6 or 7 months ago, he said, I don't give a shit what the fans say. I will not do what the fans want. I will do what I fucking want. I will sit at home on a fucking Saturday night and I will watch my fucking show and I will wank to that fucking show and I will have fucking wet dreams about that show and I will tell you fucking what. I won't give a shit what the fans say. They can give the episode 2 stars, but I will be happy because it's Moffat time. The minute that fucking clock strikes 8:30, it's going to be fucking Moffat time because I will fucking Moffat the shit out of every fucking episode in the fucking series because I am Stephen fucking Moffat. And it's like, how on earth are you supposed to fucking run a show when you're disrespecting your lead actor? You're praising the fucking main character of the last series because we all know how much it was Clara Who. I mean, for fuck's sake. And then you're telling Peter information like you're not the rude doctor. But then he turns around and says to all these expecting fans that are expecting great stuff, expect a fucking rude doctor. I mean, it's like, right. So when exactly, Moffat, are you going to start telling us the fucking truth? Because you're evidently just trying to bullshit your way out of everything because you, my friend, are the biggest fucking massive bullshitter of the BBC. You don't have fucking nothing on these politicians in the fucking UK because you are just fucking bullshit. You are full of shit. You look like shit. You write like shit. And you disrespect your actors and you treat your actors like fucking shit. I'm concerned. I am actually fucking concerned by the comments that he was saying because it's like he actually just doesn't give a crap about Whovians. Just as long as he gets Moffat time, he's fine. He can sit at home and enjoy Doctor Who because he's written it, and his name is in the end credits if it's not in the fucking first credit, which it nearly was in the whole of Series 9 because even it was like Gareth Roberts and Stephen Moffat, Phil Ford and Stephen Moffat. I mean, Moffat had to be fucking everywhere. He wasn't satisfied if his name was on the fucking Doctor's coat. It's just like, can you just take a step back, just review what you've written, review how things are going, and you make an assessment of that. If you actually think, if you are kidding yourself that is good, then you need to leave. If he's kidding himself that he thinks that what he's writing is good, then either someone actually does need to go up to him and rip a script right in front of his face.
Well, didn't he do that? Didn't he rip the script in half? All the scripts for Series 9? Didn't he do that, Connor? He says, "Oh, she was not going to stay, but she changed her mind, and I just threw all the scripts in the garbage." Didn't he do that?
I think he did, yeah. But
he did do that.
I think Peter needs to do that to Moffat because I think it's time that everyone at the BBC and everyone on the Doctor Who team stop licking Moffat's ass because that's what he's getting like now. That no one is standing up to this guy that is evidently trying to put the fucking gauntlet in Doctor Who. He is the John Nathan Turner of the modern era.
Jesus.
This is I'm sensing that there might be a bit of John Nathan Turner, Tom Baker kind of
Right.
tension, maybe even between Moffat and Peter, because we all know what John Nathan Turner was like about
Yeah.
Baker. He thought that he was fucking done. He wanted
Right.
rid of him in a year, and he
Right.
got fucking rid of him in a fucking year. And it's
Right.
like it's the same. Moffat has no respect for
Because you
Peter.
know what? He wants Peter Capaldi, right? But he wants Peter Capaldi to lick. And Peter Capaldi's not going to lick. He's a
Yeah.
fan. He's like, you don't do it like that. Because I remember when I grew up, and that's exactly right, man. Moffat needs to lose the ego. This is here's, you know what? It's so funny. Our showrunner has the biggest ego in history, right? And for some reason, with these Whovian groups, they all have the biggest egos in history. Just because he has an ego doesn't mean everybody else has to have an ego. Okay? So grow the fuck up. Think for a second. You're a fan of the classic series, right? So why the fuck do you want to change it? Why do you want to alter it? Why do you want to piss on it? You said you're friends with Russell T Davies. Why are you screwing with his stories? Why are you undoing his stories? Why are you messing around that you said you're not going to do that? And then you say, oh, well, I'm messing with him because I want him to write an episode of Doctor Who. So now it's a psychological fucking bullshit games that he's fucking with the story for his own agenda. Okay? That's ridiculous. Just to get his way. Okay? That's bullshit. So, like, work with Peter Capaldi and listen to Peter Capaldi because Peter Capaldi's a big fan and so are you. It doesn't have to be done your fucking way. I don't care if you're the showrunner. At least Russell T Davies, had people give input and he listened. He listened. This guy doesn't listen. This guy is like, oh, I want to have the Cybermen and kids involved. No, Adric died because the Cybermen fucking involved in killing him. So the Doctor would not have a kid sleeping next to a Cyberman knowing that he lost a companion. Okay, that's bullshit. I mean, you don't have that. That doesn't make any sense. You don't have, kids, and you're the Doctor knowing this. And don't make the Doctor like he's a fucking old amnesiac. I mean, you don't remember the Green Intelligence. You don't remember Madame de Pompadour. What the fuck is that? What is that? How could that be? How could he not know? Even though he doesn't have the same feelings in this incarnation, Madame de Pompadour, that Doctor loved her. So you wouldn't remember. It's like in a relationship. If you ever love somebody, right, and then something happens, you don't love them anymore, you still remember loving that person at some point. So how could he not remember her at all, Madame de Pompadour? That makes no sense. Okay?
Yeah.
The master thing, he says, well, I had to prove to everybody how evil she is. No, you didn't. Okay? Because we know what the fucking master does. The master kills everybody. The master ate somebody for lunch. Okay, when his body was unstable. So you don't need to prove anything. Oh, because it's under your tenure that you need to prove he's evil? No, you don't need to do that. But what you do is now you pissed off the fans because you killed Osgood. And they're expecting you to bring her back, and Danny Pink, and he's not. And people were like getting pissed off because even though they don't want him to kill people to bring them back, they don't mean that they want him to go in the opposite direction. You can't have like a morbid fucking ending like that, okay? And the same thing with Angels Take Manhattan, right? I understand that they had to leave, okay? And he rewrote the script while they're filming the crap, okay? There was stuff that I saw filmed that I didn't see in the finished product, right? So don't you have like fucking somebody that tells you, hey, Steven, listen, this is not going to work because you want River to travel back in time to make sure Amy writes the book, but she has the vortex manipulator. So why don't she take them home? Especially if Captain Jack, the Doctor, and Martha Jones can travel the whole length of the universe from 1,000,000,000,000 years back to 2000 and whatever with the vortex manipulator. You mean to tell me because of a time distortion that River can't carry them with the vortex manipulator? That's wrong. Okay? And to say that TARDIS cannot land in New York at that time period. Let me tell you something. Was any other Doctor or any other writer, they would have wrote it that the Doctor was pissed off that he couldn't land in 1930s New York. And they would have had a whole fucking storyline on him fixing the fucking problem to go to 1930s New York, which he shouldn't be banned from any time period or any area. The fact that and then the Doctor leaves the Angel on the fucking planet, on Earth, in the cemetery so they can terrorize New York again. That's Moffat's writing. It's a problem. And his characters that he created, he basically makes them into a joke where he don't follow his own rules. That's wrong. He has nobody to check and balance his work like he did with Russell T Davies. He's all over the fucking place, Connor. He's all over the fucking place. And then when someone says something to him, he's like, I'm the showrunner, so I don't what? All right, then you're not going to write anymore. Or so, like, really? Like, give me a fucking break, okay? Dude, you're fucking up, Doctor Who. You took like 3-4 years to do the storyline, and you explained it in one sentence. That Madame Corvarian, branched off from the church and traveled back in time, and that's the whole explanation about Madame Corvarian. You don't say how she traveled through time. You don't say how, everything. You just like say a sentence to explain years worth of story. That is a freaking cop out.
Yeah, and someone on Gallifrey Base, which is actually a fair point, said that it's clear that Moffat is saying any issue anyone had with Series 8 last year was because of Peter's limitations as an actor.
Wow. Holy crap.
Peter doesn't have limitations as an actor, but you, fucking Moffat, you have limitations as a writer. You're a bullshitter. Bullshitters don't write. Bullshitters can't write because bullshitters just bullshit. That's it. All they do is they just bullshit. How are you supposed to write a coherent storyline if all you do is bullshit? You're gonna try and bullshit your way out of a fucking storyline because you're a bullshitter.
And I want to say this: I love Peter Capaldi. I want him to stay like 10 years, okay? And when I complain about things, I'm not complaining about Peter Capaldi anyway. But Moffat's going to be the reason that Peter Capaldi leaves.
Yeah.
Moffat is going to be the fucking reason that he doesn't stay to Series 10. Okay? And if he does stay to Series 10, he'll be regenerating episode 1 or half the season. So they may do that, like where he regenerates halfway through the season. Because this is not working. I mean, yes, the best thing he did is Missy. That was cool. But turning her into, at the end of the episode, why is she, want to be his BFF? That makes no fucking sense.
I think that Series 8 was a success because it was different. But I think Moffat can't write for Peter. You have to have another writer.
Listen, Series 8 was a success, but it wasn't as good because of the stupid shit that they put in there. Okay? It could have been a lot better. All right? The moon being an egg was just ridiculous, and it contradicted the Silurians episode, the Doctor Who and Silurians that we're talking about, because the Doctor basically, they explained that a planet hit the Earth, and then wiped out the dinosaurs, whatever it was, and then all of a sudden the planet became a moon. There was no egg, and then the Doctor's thousands of years old then, So I mean, Moffat is just changing things, and I'm just getting a little annoyed with the whole situation. I love Moffat's writing when he was on the Russell T Davies. Oh my God, and I do like his writing too, but he needs to be able to finish a story. He needs to be able to deliver a proper closure to a plot, and I don't have confidence that he can finish a story because the way he's finished the stories have been terrible.
Yeah. He can't go through with one idea. He has to change it. It has to be different. It has to surprise us. But it's not a surprise. It's just a failure.
I think he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And I think that he jumps in this tangent, and then people are like, "No, we didn't mean that, dude. I don't know why you're doing that." It's like, I don't know.
Do you mind if I just read the full quote about the two-parters? It's like 3 paragraphs, but quite quick. Yeah. Moffat said, "We're changing the rhythm of the show quite a bit. For a long time, those 45-minute stories were the backbone of Doctor Who. They felt new and fresh and different. It just started to feel to me that as a member of the audience, you were getting too acquainted with the rhythm of it. You sort of think, well, now it's about time for the music to come up. Writing the first 2 parts that I had done in years, with Dark Water, Death in Heaven, was a bit of a change. It felt like a new beginning. It felt like a new I just thought, I'm liking this. This feels more unpredictable because you don't know how far you're going to get through the story. The rule I've got is that you won't be absolutely certain whether a show is going to be a two-parter or not. And sometimes something like that looks like it's going to be a single isn't a single. I think the nice thing is not having the feeling of it's 5 minutes until the end of Doctor Who, so he's bound to start running now. With each of the two parts we're doing, there's a substantial difference between the two halves. Right, so this is promising because he's acknowledging that two-parters are better for Doctor Who. He's saying that it's definitely better for getting a coherent story out, even though he can't fucking write a coherent story to save his fucking life. But this thing about you won't be absolutely certain whether a show is going to be a two-parter or not. Right, explain how he's going to surprise us with that. Because, as I said, there's something called the internet. They release all the episode details beforehand. We know when there's a two-parter. We know when there's going to be a standalone episode. It's like he's trying to surprise us with things that he simply can't surprise us with. Because there are things that we can get around that. We can go on the internet. All we have to fucking search is Doctor Who and go on Wikipedia, look at the Series 9 episode list, and you see that Stephen Moffat's written two-parters, Toby Whithouse has written one, and then Catherine Jenner and all that lot, maybe even Matt Gatiss have, written just standalone episodes. And it's like, you can't surprise us with that because there's ways around it. You have to surprise us with the actual episode. Don't try and surprise us with the way it's structured, because that's not going to fucking work. We all know that's not going to work, because all you have to search is Doctor Who, and you've got every bit of information about every episode that's coming up that you could possibly fucking want, And it's like, just don't surprise us with the structure, just surprise us with how you actually write it. I think he's more bothered about how the fucking episode list looks at the end of a fucking series.
He's also thinking money-wise that he could throw it in the theater.
Yeah,
he could throw each two-parter in the theater and make a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking. That is full of shit. He won't come out and say that, but you could basically put The Magician's Apprentice and Witches Familiar in the theater, and then the following week you could put the other two-parter in the theater. You could constantly put them in the theaters and make mucho bucks. And when they do that switch from BBC, then they can make massive profit, probably, if it works. But then again, there's drawbacks with that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's promising that at least he identifies that two-parters are needed in a series, because two-parters they've not been great.
How long have we been saying we need two-parters? About 3 or
4 years now.
It's ridiculous. The one-parters don't work half the times.
Yeah.
We need two-parters sometimes. I mean, it's. I didn't say do the whole fucking season two-parter, but maybe it is not a two-parter. Maybe it's a four-parter. Maybe it's like a King of Time thing that he's doing.
We're bloody lucky that we're getting 3 two-parters in this series, at least. We might even get one more.
At least.
We might even get one more, We don't know, but that's not been there the last 3 years or so. And it's just like, we're lucky to even get 3 two-parters. You don't have to flood us with two-parters, because standalone episodes can work. They just have to be written well. They have to be condensed. They have to be not too adventurous.
Yeah, I really want to let the viewers know that this isn't a hate video. Okay, we love Doctor Who. Okay, and we're not hating on anybody. We're just very angry at the situation of what Moffat's saying. Okay, there's a difference between, everything's not roses all the time. Okay, if we don't like something in Doctor Who, or somebody's doing something to Doctor Who, we'll voice our opinions. Okay, that doesn't mean we're haters, doesn't mean we're evil, doesn't mean anything. You could like something and then not like something. We could like Superman 1 and 2 and hate Superman 3 and 4. We could like Alien 1, Aliens, and then not like Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. I mean, we could like, Doctor Who with Russell T Davies. We could like Russell T Davies with Stephen Moffat, but then when he starts talking like this and doing all these crazy things, we don't like that. We don't like the gimmicks. We don't like the split seasons. We don't like, using one season for 2 years worth. Okay, I think Moffat has a problem with losing the audience. Like he thinks he knows what he needs to do. Okay, and then he just gets it all wrong. Like first of all, the Christmas specials are not working now. Okay, they're not working. The last Christmas special did not work by any means. If it's so much pressure to write a Christmas story, then don't write a Christmas story. Do like an end of time type of thing where you don't really focus on Christmas, but Christmas is in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying too hard, and you put Santa Claus in there. It's like a damn joke. Okay.
I in Moffat's defense, I liked Last Christmas, but the main reason was Peter.
Right.
Peter was fantastic in it. He had
Right.
some
I didn't.
really good lines. Like, that's really offensive. When
Right.
they were talking about, the film Alien, and stuff like that. He was
I was good
ripping
lines.
into everyone,
I mean, I do some good stuff for it, but me and Sharon watched it. We did not enjoy it, and it wasn't
Yeah.
anything to do with the performances. It was the writing. It was not. First of all, I thought they killed it and they ruined it by putting Santa Claus at the finale. I thought they totally ruined it, especially how it ended. The Dark Water was way better than Death in Heaven.
Oh yeah,
Way
infinitely.
better. It was
Infinitely.
it was night and day. Okay, it was like he wrote Dark Water, right? It was going in this direction, and then he got the shit kicked out of him the next day, and his opinions and all the way he is when he wrote the episode, he wrote it effed up.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't know if you agree with me, but to you, did Dark Water feel slightly different from normal Doctor Who?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it did.
Same with me.
It got me very piqued and interested when he's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to hell." I'm like, "Wait, what? You
You
could
could
do that?"
feel the difference
I
between
kind of got,
previous
I was
episodes.
like a little kid, and I'm like, for a second there, I'm like, I thought I knew everything about Doctor Who, and then he's talking about this stuff like going to the underworld, and I'm like, I kind of was excited, and then I was like kind of a little bit afraid, like, because if they do it wrong, it was going to be like ridiculous. And especially when she turned, I mean, he did amazing things in that thing where Clara turned on him, but the problem was he never explained why. He never
Yeah.
explained why she had a meltdown and flipped out like this. He never explained that the doctor didn't even give a shit that she had a meltdown, that he didn't even punish her, that didn't even get mad at her. They didn't even explain with Missy how she used Clara, and he didn't even have a problem with it. He didn't even immediately say, "Oh, what if she's working for Missy?" He immediately ran to Clara, and they made the doctor look like a puppy, like to Clara. I don't like that. Okay, and then the end, like, why are they dancing at your command and you're giving them to the doctor to do what? You're pissed at the Daleks? Is that what I mean? When did this happen? Now, I mean, is it the whole Time War thing that the Master just has a mad on for the Daleks? I mean, you can go into the Dalek camps and destroy the Daleks with the Cybermen. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, did something happen off air that they really didn't like write about with the Master that I know he ran from the Daleks, but does he have like a fucking thing in him that he really has a hatred on for the Daleks? Is that why he did the whole autographing thing? I mean, there's something that they need to explain, okay? That is that more important screwing with the Daleks than fighting with the Doctor? Because that's what they need to explain. Nobody explained that. Why would the Master worry about that or talk about if you want to go to the Dalek camps, here's your army? Like, what's going on in that head of hers? That's the
They never mentioned the Daleks during Sim's role as the Master. I can't remember him ever saying, "Well, those Daleks, I was terrified.
no,
I
no,
had to run."
no. He said no, no, no. He said he was scared. He did say that to the 10th Doctor. He was scared. He ran away when he saw that the Daleks invaded the cruciform. And he
Right.
was supposed to be the weapon, the chosen one. He's like, I was scared, and like he said, he ran away. So he was scared. And don't forget, he was executed by the Daleks on TV, even though it was a TV movie with the Eighth Doctor. They did do that to piss the Time Lords off. Okay, the Daleks don't go on TV. They did that to make an example of the Time Lords. So he might genuinely have fear of the Daleks, but they don't talk about that on air. He did say he was afraid, but they didn't elaborate that this is what's going on in his head. It's not even the Doctor. The Daleks are more of an enemy than the Doctor. It's not even, the Daleks are the reason why the Time Lords became a-holes. Okay,
Yeah.
the Daleks are the reason that Rassilon and all came back, because they had the Time War. They revived him. They gave him more regenerations. All this stuff happened because the Daleks were a-holes. Okay, so they didn't elaborate. Hey, the Master's got some grudge issues against the Daleks. Nobody said that. There was like one line that he's talking as the Prime Minister, as Harold Saxon, in his boardroom while he's talking to the Doctor on the phone. He's like, I was scared. And it's like, okay, continue. What, but nobody ever, like, continued. We just get these one-liners like, hey, here's your army. You want to go to the Dalek camps and mess them up? It's like, why? Oh, wait, you hate the Daleks. That's interesting. Like, what else happened? Like, I'm just trying to, like, why is he afraid? Why did he run like a bitch and then use the chameleon arch and erase his? I mean, like, I don't understand what the hell happened that made him freak out.
Yeah.
And this is the
Yeah.
thing that fans are not questioning. Like, he obviously is so that the Daleks are public enemy number one, that he'd rather be friends with the Doctor to get the Doctor's help to mess with the Daleks rather than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they don't explain it. Like, holy crap, I didn't know that. Like, that, it's so, his angry for the Daleks is so mad that he'll be friends with the Doctor again. That's so weird. And Moffat lost opportunity, just like Russell T Davies explained it. Why is he afraid? Why is he running? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. And then all the people that team up with, he teams up with the Cybermen. But how did that happen? Did they talk? I mean, and then they're talking about him having a TARDIS or she having a TARDIS, and she's messing up. Well, what are you doing? Like, how could she not encounter the 11th Doctor? Unless, of course, something happened to prevent her from messing with the 11th Doctor. Maybe somebody came after her or something. But there's a lot of unanswered questions, and Moffat needs to start explaining.
Yeah.
When he starts saying, "Hey, listen, the Master is the same, but there's even more of a threat to the Master than the Doctor, and he needs to go with the enemy he knows." Then explain it. Then tell me, oh, that's what the case is. But don't leave it open where we're just interpretation. We're trying to guess, because we're just going by these few lines, and then we can interpret. Okay, he has a problem against the Daleks. Why was he building an army with the Toggle theme? He was going after somebody, but he didn't say it was the Daleks. But maybe it was, because now with Death in Heaven, he's getting another army. So that's the whole plot for like 5-10 years. He's going after the Daleks. Why can't you explain that?
Yeah. And back to Moffat's comments, he said here, which I didn't actually notice, he said something about Peter magnifies anything that is dark. So, right, that sounds to me like a strength of Peter's character. If that's a strength of Peter's character, and that's a good thing, and Peter's doing that well, why is Moffat trying to avoid it? Why is he focusing on what may not be Peter's biggest strengths? For example, being this jolly doctor. I don't think that Peter would pull that off well enough to be a satisfactory.
Moffat right now, what he's doing is he's being a disgruntled store manager to his employees.
Yeah.
He's being a baby. He starts talking like the corporate talk. Like, he can't really act this way. All of a sudden, he's the best actor in the world, but now it's different, because he has to prove that he's right. So he has to, say that Peter Quill is not. That's ridiculous. Okay, we need to know, and I'm surprised that nobody's talking about it. They need to find out, is there problems with Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi? Because this crap talking, obviously Stephen Moffat's fighting with Russell T Davies now too. So
Yeah.
why is he fighting with everybody? What's happening? We need to know. So I really want to see these sites find out.
Yeah, I agree, and I just think that Moffat kind of needs to start respecting Peter a bit more.
It's going to get
Like,
ugly, you know. If Connor, if they're not getting along, we may not get the best work out of everybody, and
yeah,
that's what I'm worried about. So, and we may see the Doctor regenerate in series 9. I mean, he may
I,
say, "To
th-
the hell with this, I'm out."
I do think that Capaldi is going to be stubborn enough to see at least Series 10 through.
You
Um,
hope, you would hope.
I actually think he is stubborn enough because
The
this,
guy was so dedicated. He bought a house, right? He bought a
yeah,
whole friggin' house so he could be close to home while filming Doctor Who. That's crazy.
he wants to do. Capaldi wants to do at least 3 years. He's not gonna take any notice of Moffat's bullshit until he knows that he's like halfway through series 10, and he's okay. He can take at least a little bit more of Moffat's bullshit for half a series, and
Right.
then he can be free to go because he's done 3 years. He might
Yeah.
even do 3 years amazingly well. We don't know the quality of Series 9 and Series 10 yet. If it's as
Right.
good as Series 8, I'm fine. Because I think that it could have been done better, but Series 8 was at least better than Series 7, and
Right.
it was also a bit better. It was also a lot better actually than Series 6. So I'd be happy if it was up to par with Series 8. If it was even better, great.
Right.
I'm hooked. I'm a hooked viewer. That's brilliant. Moffat, you've hit the jackpot. But for God's sake, don't ruin something that's working.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's doing. He's just trying to change it because it's the status quo. It's there. He wants it to change. He wants every year to be different. The thing, you can't have every year different because then you start running out of ideas because you've already explored everything far too early. Because you can't have a comedy series and a dark series and then go back to comedy because everybody still remembers the comedy series 2 series ago. For example, now with Matt Smith, series 5 to 7 was all pretty much light-hearted Doctor Who. There was nothing that was exceptionally dark about any of the episodes that we had with Smith. And now we're having a dark thing with Capaldi. We had a pretty dark series with Capaldi, and now we're off back to comedy because Moffat can't handle it that he's gone so far away from comedy. It's like someone said, it's like him writing couplings again.
Coupling.
The old series he used
That
to
was
write.
great, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Press Gang as well and all that. It's like he's so one-dimensional as a writer. He can't mix it up. He writes comedy or dark. He can't write comedy and dark. He has to write
Like in other
comedy and
words, right?
dark.
That's why Mark Gatiss had to write the comedy episode with
Exactly.
So like he's like one set direction. Like he won't deviate from the path. Like be like the whole season dark. The
Yeah,
whole season comedy.
and like I said yesterday, these comments about Matt Smith's scripts being done differently with Capaldi and the fact that maybe Moffat prefers Matt's character because he was a lot lighter. I'm not saying completely negate humor from the entire series. I'm just saying you can mix it up. Mix it up, please. We don't. I like dark, but if there's a certain limit, there's a point where it gets a bit. Where people will start complaining. People will go in like groups of 100 and start complaining to the BBC because Moffat has taken a dark series as he's kind of like comprehended it as be very, very dark, be over dark because it has to be a dark series. You have to make it known that the series is dark. So he goes over serious with it all. And it's like, and then you're talking like with the humor, he tries to be funny, but he's not funny. So, it's like, what the hell? Because he simply can't mix it up, he can't deviate. And it's like, with Moffat, he's okay, he's written some good stuff, I'm not going to completely bollock the hell out of him because he's written Blink, for example. But as showrunner, he's been so inconsistent. He's not written two good episodes back to back in about 5, 6 years, and that's worrying. Yeah, and like you said, he should take some constructive criticism from the actors because it, they're the most important thing. The writer isn't the one on screen; it's the actors. It's like you have to kind of they're the actors are the people that do the talking. They're like they are the pretty much the people that are channeling your creation. That they're the people that are creating this world because through their acting, through their dialogue, and about Peter, saying that he delivers every line in this moody way. It's unfair. Some of Peter's lines have been amazing because of the way he delivered it. Does anyone remember the flatline speech? How he delivered that was so perfect that I don't even think even David Tennant could have matched that particular speech in the way that Capaldi delivered it, because Capaldi was amazing in that particular scene, and it is definitely one of the standout scenes of Series 8. And it's like, it's completely disrespectful saying that, the way Peter delivers it, it's great, but the way that Matt delivers it and David delivers it, because they're smiling when they say it, that's even better, because, they're actually lighthearted. If you can't commit to having this doctor that's older and that's grumpier and that's a little bit darker and that's that doesn't give a damn, as you say, but he's not the doctor if he doesn't give a damn, because the doctor's someone that saves people. That is his purpose on the fucking earth. It's like if you can't have him where he gives a damn, then he's not the doctor. And it's like, he's not the doctor if he doesn't give a damn. And this over respect for David and Matt, you're still mentioning him, like, what, 5 years on since David left, and 2 since Matt left. It's like, please, just fucking stop licking their asses. Stop sucking their dicks and just get on with Peter, because Peter's the here and now. Peter's here to stay for as long as maybe he wants to, because I actually think that the BBC love Peter so much that it might actually be his call as to when he leaves. I don't think that Moffat's going to try and force him out of anything. I don't think that the BBC are going to force him out of the show, because they love him. They even said after Series 8 that they had to sign Peter back on because he was...
Right. Can you hear me, Connor?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, I lost you for 5 minutes. Did you say anything that I talked about on the side or no?
I talked about the first thing. I know that you've written a lot here, but no.
Right, I'm gonna go into that if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine.
My biggest thing as a writer, right? I'm a writer too, okay, but I'm not gonna write about a military character if I don't have an idea of what it's like to be in the military. I mean, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you write Danny Pink that he's on alert? He's trained as a military guy, and then he gets hit by a car? That's not believable. Okay, how could it be that the doctor's best friends with the brigadier, and then all of a sudden, anybody that's like the brigadier, they can't be near him, they can't be in the TARDIS, they can't travel with him? That makes no sense. Like, why is he writing like shit? Like, he's screwing it up, and then you there? Okay, he writes it like Clara. He said he wrote the last episode like she believes she's in a TV series. So that means she's a nutter. Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you insult your own character? I never agreed when, in the name of the Doctor, he had focused on Clara the whole thing, and then he switched it to River Song because I'm like, that's not supposed to be a River Song ending. It's all about Clara. So why are you throwing that in there? Oh
Yeah.
wait, you want to piss off the fans, and you don't want to give them the Singing Towers of Delirium, whatever. So you just screwed everybody up, and this is their final goodbye. So, but why would you do that? Why would you hurt one of your characters to boost another? You know, I just don't. He does things unpredictable, which I understand is good sometimes, but it makes no sense that Danny Pink didn't know he was going to get hit by a car. Like he wouldn't look around. That makes no sense. Okay, and
Yeah.
why is his body sitting on the table for weeks anyway? And how could he decompose so fast? If it was only a week, or how could he decompose like that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
if you want to write about the dead and how long it takes for the body to decompose, why don't you do some research and go to a mortuary and ask a mortician? Like, why are you just throwing stuff in there? Like, if people die, they do work on the body, they lay him out for a week, and it's done in like 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. Sometimes it takes a week if they have to fly people in or whatever. But there's never a situation where a body's laying on that table for like weeks. What about all the other people that died? He's not the only person that dies. So how is he taking up that table for weeks? That makes no sense.
Yeah,
And
and it's like,
they even said that she tried reaching him for weeks, right?
yeah,
The doctor. So that body's not going to be sitting on the table for weeks. I'm sorry.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like Moffat's unable to do research. He seems to have a fear of doing research where he can research things and then that will help him to write something that's believable, that's realistic. Because at the end of the day, Doctor Who is a science fiction show. It's got imaginary things in it, but there are elements of it that have to be real life because
Right.
most
It's
of
too much fantasy. The whole thing about
yeah,
my tree that's planted in my backyard is worried about me and is going to protect me from a solar flare or
yeah,
something. That's
exactly.
just.
What
I
the
mean,
fuck was that?
I look. I know he has this obsession with trees, and a leaf defeated a planet from Rings of Akatan. Well, and I'm sorry, that wasn't his writing, but it still was a great story. But what's this thing with trees, though? Because it's like, why is he doing ridiculous things like the moon is an egg? I don't know. He is a part of every episode, even though he doesn't write it, because he sets the stage for which episode is going to be where and where it's going to go. Even the writer said, oh, I want to ask Stephen Moffat what he wants me to do, because they can't just do stuff on their own. They can't say, hey, I want to bring back the Draconians. They got to be like Moffat be like, all right, write an episode where the Doctor becomes a priest. So it's like, okay, write an episode where the Doctor's a boxer. Okay, write an episode where Clara tells the Doctor F off. Okay, but it's never like what they want to do. Like, with the exception of Mark Gatiss, it took him years to get Ice Warriors back. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and Mark Gatiss gets to write historical episodes too. He's the only one that I think gets to do his own thing. But look at even Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman got his script interfered by Moffat and became
yeah,
totally different. So people were like, how do we get The Doctor's Wife, which is a perfect episode, and then we get Nightmare on Silver, and it's not a perfect episode? Like, Neil
yeah,
Gaiman
exactly.
talked about that. He was trying to eat lunch somewhere, and the guy's like talking to him about it. It's like, wow. So Moffat just interferes too much. I think he needs to take a back seat and let people do their own thing instead of saying, all right, this episode they shrink it to a Dalek. This episode, they go into the future and they see an older version of Danny Pink. Like an ancestor or whatever, or a descendant. He needs to just let them do their own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why Russell T Davies won't come back, because he's going to be told what he's got to write about.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
no
I
one
don't know
wants to come back.
Why Moffat has to give the ideas to the writers. I know for certain that what Catherine Tregenna's writing is Moffat's. It's not hers. It's not her idea. She took on the idea because she liked it. Let her come up with an idea. She's a capable writer.
What is this sexual innuendo that he hints at off air? That he makes stupid comments to the press, like, oh well, and he makes a doctor say stuff. like stupid, like at nighttime. Who knows what he's doing with River Song, and the thing about, he just totally screwed up Russell T Davis's whole plan with, the 10th Doctor marrying, the Queen. I mean, like what is this little? And then he even said something about, there was a love triangle with River and Clara, and what is he talking about? That never happened. So
Yeah,
why does he
definitely.
have this? He has this distorted, sleazy thing, And then, did you need to do the Vastra thing with Jenny? Did you? I mean, really, that was just like, all right, I don't know where you're going with that, but I don't know. He's all over the place. That's the problem.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I agree.
chaos. Doctor Who is chaos right now, and from the chaos we get good episodes sometimes, and from the chaos we get, not so good episodes. But ultimately, the season can be better. I mean, and there's always room for improvement. Even Series 8, there's room for improvement. But he's just Moffat is just all over the place. All right, like we had the episode, right, with the mummy, right? Like people
Yeah,
dying left and right, and it wasn't even like a Clara-centric episode. But there's no explanation. Like, why are you letting a stranger look at your TARDIS? And then the guy figures out what's wrong with the TARDIS. Like, how does that guy know billions of years worth of technology?
yeah,
That makes
exactly.
no sense. Nobody ever looked at the TARDIS. He never brought any. I mean, he'll have like Rory help him fix it, or somebody help him fix it, or whatever. But you don't have a stranger that you don't know look at the TARDIS. Like, why would you let somebody use? That's like your lifeline, the TARDIS. What if the guy tampered with it? Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand that. I mean, it's weird. To me, it's weird.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
bizarre. It is bizarre.
Nobody's ever looked at the TARDIS. I mean, look, I like that guy. I know he's a Doctor Who fan, and they did that to be like, oh, okay, I know how to fix the TARDIS. But like, why don't you elaborate? Why don't you bring him back? Why don't you say he's Drax, the mechanic from Gallifrey that's is just a genius, but he just likes fixing things. I mean, like, why don't you do that? What is the
Yeah,
problem? What is the problem? And then who's Gus? I mean, nobody says anything about that. Nobody. It's like there's too many like plot holes. There's too many left subplots. You don't explain anything, and that's the fear that he'll never explain anything. You know.
yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
all right, I'm gonna get going. Connor, we're gonna go from now. This is a long cast. I gotta get going.
Yeah.
Um, song's over. All right. So, uh, thanks, bro, for this wonderful, wonderful cast.
Right.
And we'll be back tonight. Take care. Bye for now.